evaporator comes off before the cold control, before the pressure switch. Because again, this is a constant. Are we fucking with this?
No.
No, it's a constant. It'll stay this way forever, right? Now, we're adding heated defrost, which means it's just an electric heater. It just comes off at 3. We've got a start. We've got a switch. We've got a load, and then we've got an end. We've got our 4 things. It's a complete circuit. If this calls. Right? And then we still need our brain for our cold control. Which is just getting power all the time. We didn't change our defrost clock. We didn't change our condensing unit. We just had to move our evaporator coil around. What's up?
So when the cold control opens,
Yep.
does it switch the relays around? Is that
No. Cold control just controls the temperature of the box. It doesn't control defrost. Our defrost clock controls defrost.
Oh, so that's like, yeah.
So what happens? We've got the box set to 40 degrees. It gets to 39. What happens?
It opens.
What opens?
The cold control.
Cold
switch
control
will open,
opens.
but the evap's still gonna keep running to move the air.
Gotta taste the air. It's just like the mini splits. Those things, if you notice, the fan never shuts off. It could be, you got it set to 75. It could be 70. That fan's still gonna run. It has to taste the air because the temperature is up in the unit. You don't fucking know what's going on back there. The only way we can tell is if we get the fan up. Get this thing tasting the air. It's like a snake. A sneaky snake.
Snake.
Exactly. There we go.
Nice.
Now, what happens if it's they got the thermostat set to 40, it's 45 degrees, but there's a leak in the system.
We'll press the switch, we'll trip.
But our cold control is gonna stay closed, right?
Yes.
So what happens? Physically, what happens?
Compressor and condenser fan turn off.
Our condensing unit turns off and evap stays on. We still want that fan moving. That's just how we do it. We just want air moving, okay? Now what happens? We have full pressure, it's working. Systems, it's 45 degrees in the box. You got it set to 40. Midnight rolls around, goes into defrost. What happens?
Closes 3, or 4 opens, 3 closes.
4 opens,
Okay, that's
3 closes. Our electric heater comes on. Physically, what happens to the system?
Completely shuts down. Well,
Cold control opens.
nope.
No, cold control doesn't open. It's still set to 40 and it's 45 degrees in the box. Cold control's still closed.
It's not gonna sense any air until the defrost timer kicks back.
Physically,
this off.
the entire unit just shuts down. Condensing unit shuts down. Evaporator fan shuts down. But all the safeties are saying, hey, we need to run, or safeties are saying, hey, we can run. Our cold control's saying, hey, we need to run, but there's no power. We've cut power. Our electric heater's gonna come on for the 20 minutes that it needs to, or the half hour, the 10, the 5, whatever the defrost is set to. What happens after that 20 minutes ends?
Closes.
Switches.
Closes.
Closes. Our cold control saying, hey, it's still too hot, we need to cool. Low pressure is saying, yeah, we got enough pressure. Low ambient saying, yeah, it's it's hot enough, we can run our condenser fan, and our high pressure switch is still closed, cause it's been off, it's not over pressured right now. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, we're not messing with our defrost clock or our condensing unit. The only thing we do with it, well, the condensing unit, is we move it. Defrost clock stays the same. So now, if we go. This can go. I'm gonna get rid of this for right now. So now if we're gonna use a liquid line solenoid, what does our liquid line solenoid do?
Stops the refrigerant from
De-energizes?
getting back to the compressor.
How?
Um,
In what state?
Turn,
Go.
just turns off, stops flow.
Does it turn off?
No,
It's a valve that closes to block the flow of refrigerant.
How?
Can we talk about the
Karen?
solenoid valve?
The liquid line solenoid is de-energized, closing the flow of refrigerant from the liquid line.
So that means if we're running it, what if, like, what?
Constant, it needs to be on a normally closed.
It needs to be on the normally closed, but what controls it? Let's say the box temp gets down
the
to
cool control.
cold control. Cold control still comes after 4. No, I left it very open-ended. Wanted you guys to fight for it.
The ladder we did earlier, you had us do from just the components, I drew the cold control before the defrost timer, and you said that would work, and then I wired it up out there and it worked too, is that?
It's the difference between residential and commercial. Cumulative. He's not
Nailed it,
fucking paying
nailed
attention.
it.
Yeah, thanks.
Dean,
I just wanted fucking Daddy Dean to fucking hear me say that word. right.
Recognize me, senpai.
Dude, that's all I want.
What happened?
I said culminative correctly.
Cumulative?
Yeah,
Good job.
thanks.
Alrighty.
This fucking guy. So, it's a difference between residential and commercial. You ran it as if it's a residential home. Doesn't matter when the defrost kicks in. Who fucking cares? It's
So,
whatever they want.
in residential though, the cold control would come first, and then in commercial it would come after.
That's how I think about it. Because if you're in a commercial aspect, I keep on going back to a liquor store because it's like my favorite place to be.
Twins!
Surprise.
So there's a place called Pops up in Cumberland. I fucking love Pops.
I've heard
I walk in the liquor store and they
The girl I
So-
work with,
in there
owns that
again.
place.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop her. I'm gonna drop your name. I can't wait. I can't wait for them to kick me out of the store. So, with the difference between them, you go to a liquor store. What happens if you walk into the fucking heaven itself? You walk into the cooler to go get your 30 rack of Busch Light Apple, and it's fucking warm.
Oh, no.
Ew! Those mountains won't be blue. Gross. Ah. I like my apple to be crisp. So they have set times for their defrost. It's when they close. You know, it's 10:30 when it goes into defrost, and then right before they open. Probably 10 o'clock again. Liquor stores open at 10, right?
Yes.
Probably like that.
Depends. Saturdays they do. On the weekends it's 9:30 actually, depending on where you go.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. They get it. They do it when it's off. When they don't have customers. They want it to be cold when you walk in there. That's why continuous is more a commercial application. Now, you're gonna come across places of business who are like, no, I'd rather this thing didn't run if it didn't have to. That's fine. I'm bare bones making it that for you guys right now. And you're gonna find customers who are like, no, I'd rather have my times be right than the energy efficiency, I don't care. But right now, you've got continuous, which to us is gonna mean more commercial, then you've got cumulative, which is more residential. We'll take the extreme cases out of the equation. But on our cooling contact, which is 4, are normally closed, we hit our cold control. And our liquid line solenoid opens when it gets what? Power.
Yeah, power.
It needs power to open. So if our cold control is calling,
Ooh, that's a crisp black right there.
dude, I'm gonna hide this one.
Yeah, be careful, I won't make it shot.
I know somebody should hide that.
No. So, we've got our cold control into our liquid line. Now, what happens if it's middle of the day, our box temp set to 35, and it gets to be 30 degrees?
It'll opens.
Cold
and
control opens.
The line will lose power and close.
Exactly. Our liquid line solenoid doesn't get power, it closes the valve physically. Do we get that? We get how the liquid line solenoid works. It's just a pump down. Question?
No.
Okay. Defrost. Same deal, it's just an electric heater in this case. Simple. Off at 3. It's just an electric heater. Just comes off at 3. It's just your active defrost. Now, if you have active defrost, what are you doing with your evaporator fan?
Having it run all the time.
Whoa, we got heat.
Oh, no, sorry.
Put it on full.
Turn it.
Off of 4.
But it come before the cold control.
Yup, comes before the cold control because we still want it to run even if the box temp satisfies.
Cause I wanna move air.
What?
Wanna move air.
We want to taste the air. We won't know what's going on unless we move that air. So what's getting power all the time? What?
The low pressure switch.
Low pressure, our condensing unit, right?
So any of those points of failure, like on the pressure switches, I know we're not in mechanical technically, but like any of those dies, do we have to breeze in a whole new one?
A lot of them end up having mechanical fittings, so it's
Okay.
like threads.
Okay.
I'll show you guys how to do that. Probably not legal. I'd have to check how to do that. But like in the field, if you take that thing down to 5 psi, we've got pipe, stem, and that goes to our pressure switch, whatever it is.
It's a magnet, right?
No.
Which one is that?
What do you mean?
I seen online this guy had a liquid line solenoid valve and it had a magnet.
Oh, that's a solenoid. I'm talking about a switch.
I see.
So, switches, but even still, I think they're mechanical fittings as well. But, what you do is you drop the pressure to 5 psi, so it's very little, but it's still pushing out. You know how much you took out, you get the new one ready, undo the threads, take this one out, put it back in, because there's still pressure shooting out, put the new one on, twist it on. You haven't broken the seal, you haven't broken the vacuum, or there wasn't a vacuum. So now, if it still has pressure, you can just put the refrigerant back in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I don't know how legal that is because EPA gets real fucky with their rules and regulations. But
I think that's considered acceptable loss, cause it's for a repair.
I'm pretty sure
It's
you're
a
allowed to do it.
non-major repair. It's the major components
Yeah.
versus non-major
I
components,
do
which
think-
changes the laws.
I think though that they do want, anytime the system is exposed to atmosphere, you're supposed to
But it's not considered
degas,
exposed.
dehydrate and all
yeah.
that shit.
But that's, I think he's right with
It's
the major
major, it's
repair.
major repair versus, so like a leak, if I remember correctly with the EPA, especially for the commercial, those classes, if it's a leak on a non-major component, the leak rate is a different allowable rate than major component leak rates.
So we'll get into that. Out in the field, if it's not an evaporator, compressor, condenser, because you wouldn't be able to do this anyway if it was one of those. Like, it's too big of a repair. It's not like you
Right.
can still have pressure in the system and braze in a new evaporator.
Right.
I'm not trying to make mustard gas in a confined space.
Not today.
That isn't,
anyway.
Not today.
that's not your kink?
No. Burning nostril hair, like, yeah, I'm not into it.
None of us kink shame, so you can. keep it going.
I'm letting you know. I'll tell you once we come across one.
What am I missing?
Well, maybe you should put your phone down and pay attention.
Yeah.
It's alright, I'm recording it for you.
Don't encourage.
It'll be on the
It'll
YouTube.
be on his Patreon, $5 more.
I think that's the only subscription I'll actually pay
Noted.
for.
$6.
So, I mean, it's a perfect shot of the cake.
You wanna get in there? That's my boy Matt.
Oh, yeah.
There's Dino. Hey, Chris and Julie and Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
Fucker is. Alright, back to.
Make sure you boys hit that button down below and
I
enjoy
got
Fall
one
River
subscriber.
shit.
What's up, guys? It's Mason here with that
Today I'm gonna be showing you how to take up an evaporator with a hammer.
You think he packed up a hammer to go out there?
TSA
Somebody
stop and be
needed
like, what the
something
fuck is
repaired.
this for? It's my problem solving.
What's it not for?
This seat's a little too far
No, we
forward.
really could have used Mason with a hammer for those breaks.
That's MC
Would have
Hammer.
gotten them off in a hit.
So, if we notice again, this hasn't changed, this hasn't changed, this just moved. Right? So now, the only other variation is a hot gas bypass. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Hot gas bypass without a defrost termination switch. All you're doing,
What is this one supposed to be?
this is just an electric heater with a liquid line solenoid. Now, if you're using a hot gas bypass valve,
So that's just a solenoid, that's not.
it's just a solenoid. Now, you cannot have a hot gas bypass without a liquid line solenoid. You need it. There can only be one path for refrigerant to flow. If we draw our refrigeration cycle real quick.
Beautiful.
Good enough.
It'll work. And they're on the same line.
They're not on the same line.
Just
One
like
is
a
our
reversing
discharge,
Oh, I see.
one is our liquid line.
And one's going to the,
So, refrigerant will take the path of least resistance,
like electricity.
just like
Water.
water, electricity, refrigerant, everything. Fucking people, for God's sake. Path of least resistance.
70% water.
If you leave this open and you turn on your hot gas bypass, you're not getting full hot discharge refrigerant to your evaporator. You're still getting cooled and then metered refrigerant, right?
Yeah.
So you're not really defrosting it the way that you should. You have to close your liquid line. And just like electricity, just like water on a hydronic system. If you make a block anywhere, you know, if the liquid line solenoid is right before the metering device,
It's gonna start going down that hole.
well, pressure, just like ductwork, just like water, it's gonna fill this entire way and stop. Once it stops, no more flow can get there. It's just like people into a crowded room. If we open up this door and we just have a stream of people walking through, the moment we close that door, there's gonna be a buildup of people. All of a sudden, at that other door, you won't be able to go in. You're gonna start going around the outside of the room to get to the other lab, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. You get a buildup of refrigerant to this point, and then it has to go this way. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So that's the only difference. If you're just using a hot gas bypass valve, instead of an electric heater, it just comes off at 3. Right?
Everything else stays the same. It's
Everything
just-
else, defrost clock's still the same, the condensing unit's still the same. Your evaporator still comes off of 4. Now, if you throw in a defrost termination switch, one of the 2 options,
It's gonna go between 3 and X.
no,
Okay.
comes off of X, so we'll throw this. There's our defrost termination. X always comes off our hot contact. And we get, when I say here, the hot contact, the one where the temperature rises, it trips, right? We understand what I'm saying with that.
Mhm.
Dean, on board?
Yeah.
Good? Now, how we run our evaporator, you can pull it off of 4. I personally don't like to do that because I would rather let the evaporator fan get as much cooling as it can off of the coil and then shut off when it needs to. So instead of having it up here, we take it off of 1. So, let's run through some scenarios. Let's say it's cooling, box temp set to 40 degrees, it's 45 degrees, what's happening to the system?
It's running.
Well, what? I need everything.
Everything's running.
Cold controls closed,
Cold control's closed.
liquid lines open,
Mhm.
the hot gas bypass is closed.
Yep.
3 is closed, the evaporator.
Oh,
fan-
3 is what?
3's open. X is going to the DTS, but it's closed to the low side, so the evaporators didn't correct
Physically.
physically.
Physically,
No.
what's going on with our condenser?
It's all running.
That's all running.
It's all running. Low pressure switch is closed, high pressure switch is closed, LEC is closed, condenser fan is running, compressor's running, everything's working. Now let's say, box temp set to 40, it gets to 35 degrees, what happens? Cold control opens, what happens to our liquid line solenoid?
It's gonna shut down the condensing unit.
It's gonna not get powered, it is physically going to close.
Which then is gonna cause your low pressure switch to open.
Low pressure switch is gonna open, what happens to our evaporator?
Continues runs.
It's gonna continue to run, because the box is still cold, right?
And then with 3 closed?
Why? We're still in cooling.
It gets too hot.
What's up, Jim?
Hey, Jim.
Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ask you a question, but I'll ask you at lunchtime.
Okay. Damn it, Jim. So, our evaporator still runs. It's still cold. Warms up again, gets to 42 degrees, cold control closes again, liquid line solenoid opens. After a couple seconds, our low pressure switch trips, or it closes.
We have, 2 LECs.
That's an LPS and an LEC. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
You're gonna see it now.
this whole lesson.
See, Angel, you really are an angel.
That's it, delete that video, it's all been wrong.
We'll edit that one.
So, now, what happens if it's a super hot day, it's in cooling, box temp's 45 degrees, we got it set to 40, and the high pressure switch trips?
There's a leak.
No.
Compressor's gotta turn off.
Compressor turns off, but what stays on?
The
Condenser.
compressor fan motor and the evac.
And the evap. Still trying to cool. And we need our condenser fan motor running because the pressure's too high. Again, we're at that bar. It's a high pressure, but it doesn't matter how much higher it gets, it's still gonna trip. Still gonna keep that contact closed. Now, on the flip side, box temp's 45, cold control set to 40. The outdoor pressure drops to 40 PSI.
40 PSI?
Yeah. Cold control shut off at what? What's their high event and differential, and then cut out?
It depends on what it's set to.
Not in this case.
520, right?
Oh, cold control back.
High event's 20, differential's what?
15.
15. The only time our cold control is gonna vary in its pressure is if we're using the cold, our low pressure switch, it's gonna vary, is if we're using it as the cold control. We're not,
Oh, okay.
it's just a safety. So, our cold control is gonna stay open, it's at 40 PSI, but what happens to our condenser fan?
It's gonna turn off. The low ambient control's gonna open and the condenser fan's gonna close, it's turn off.
It's too low pressure, but our compressor's still gonna run, right? Alright, now, it's been running,
This has a question before you move on. What would the scenario be where the compressor's running but the condenser fan is not?
cold, it's cold outside, there's snow.
Okay.
So that shuts off, just so that way the condenser fan stops and then the compressor can build up heat in its like little area. It's what helps keeps the refrigerant from slugging.
Gotcha.
Because in this scenario, if the fan's running and there's snow outside, your condenser, your refrigerant, it's gonna lose too much heat in the condenser. Like, it gets too cold, goes through the medium lights, it drops even colder, and then it's just too cold. Doesn't matter how much heat's in the evaporator, it won't be able to boil off. Make sense?
Yeah.
So now, on the flip side, it's been running, 10:30 hits. Goes into defrost. What happens? David, what happens? We go into defrost.
Okay,
So what happens physically to the system?
well, the default termination switch,
We're not there yet. We got a block of ice on the coil.
okay, the evaporator shuts off because it senses there's,
What's happening with our condensing unit?
it shuts off.
Eventually. Our liquid line solenoid is gonna close, pumping itself down. Low pressure switch is gonna open. Condenser shuts off. Oh, fuck. No, it won't. Why? Why won't it?
Because it's inactive, you're using the hot gas bypass.
These aren't hot gas. We're still getting refrigerant flow. Our low pressure switch is right here. So if we've got hot gas, discharge air, or discharge vapor, hitting our low pressure control, will our low pressure switch ever shut off?
No.
It's gonna keep running. Now, we get rid of the block of ice.
Box heats up,
Box heats up. What happens to our evaporator fan?
turns off.
Turns off. And then what happens?
The solenoid for the relay in the time clock activates and switches 3 to close and 4 to open. I mean, 3 to open, 4 to close.
It shuts off defrost. Once we've gotten rid of the block of ice, there's no reason for us to continue being in defrost, right? Why make those mountains silver? Let's keep them blue, right? We got rid of the block of ice. Now we're just adding more heat. Your defrost termination switch sits there, hits, and goes, oh, fuck no. Turn off. All of a sudden, we're gonna open up our defrost, and then we're gonna close down our cooling again. It's gonna jump it right back into cooling. Our hot gas is gonna close, our liquid line is gonna open, and then the system's just gonna run normally.
Is there ever a time when the defrost termination switch is in like the middle?
Depends on the brand. Some of them, sit in that idle state where they won't do either. Not a lot of them do that.
Okay.
For the most part, it's a
It's either
snap
on or
switch.
off.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Does this make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So,
Can we see what it's set to for BTS? Or is it manufacturer set? Can we change that?
you
somewhere?
can, it's that dial that's on your evaporator. So it's just a matter of trying to find the manual again, trying to see where, like what that dial is. That's why they jumped over to the electronic ones, but then they just decided to throw out the manual for all of them. So I can't, I don't know how they're supposed to be wired or anything. So that's fun.
It was a good lecture. 32 minutes. Good job.